Namaste. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana, and welcome to Thursday night. I can't believe it's Thursday already. I don't know where this week has gone. And tonight is the night with a tarot chat. So really the floor is open if you do have questions about my tarot practice, anything to do with tarot and the cards. Tonight's a really good night to ask me questions. And yeah, I'll talk a little bit about the theme for tonight. I just want to say hi to My Voice Tarot. Joseph, welcome. And Danielle, thanks for being here. I follow a few different Facebook groups. If you want to play along tonight, sort one of your decks into order. Majors, wands, cups, swords, pentacles. Just while we're getting ready to start. So I follow quite a few different Facebook. I look cold tonight. I'm all wrapped up. I didn't turn the fire on, but I'm good, Joseph. What was I saying? Oh yes, I follow several different Facebook groups on Facebook, obviously. And there is a group called Tarot Nerds. Do you know Tarot Nerds? It's a group that was started by Shona Hill, and she lives here in the same town where I live. And I believe this group has been live for about 4 years or so, and it's a tarot only group, and it's grown to an enormous membership. And one of the threads that is going on right now in Tarot Nerds is there's a post every day, and the question is, what mundane activity do you see in each of the cards? And I've been not really reading the thread every day, but I went back today because I was intrigued. And I thought, okay, this is a good question. And we can be inspired by a lot of different more contemporary decks because they have lots of good examples of mundane activities that are interpreted in a tarot way. And so we're going to look at a couple of different decks. And I wanted to put a spin on this because I don't know about you, but what is the connotation of the word mundane? To me, it feels like mundane. It's got this weight, this heaviness to it. And I don't see everyday activities that way at all. And I wanted to more to appreciate it like, let's find the magic in the everyday. And so that's why I called this, this video what I did. And if you would like to play along and do a response, maybe do it suit by suit or something like that. It might be kind of fun just to see the magic, the connections that you have with all of the cards in the deck. Hi, Kristen. Welcome. Patrice, hello. Thank you for being here tonight. Tarot Stash, hello, hello. Andrew, Well-Tempered Claire, mundane and non-stimulating. I did look up in the dictionary, and one of the definitions was simply just of this earth, not necessarily spiritual. So there was that kind of definition as well too. So I have a couple of different decks sorted, but I really wanted to sort this one. This is the Slow Tarot. It's got some really great cards in it. So yeah, so I hope you can play along and you can participate in the chat as we go through all 78 cards. Okay, so I've got a few suits sorted in this one as well too. There we go. Yeah. I did make a list. So one of the things you might want to do in your journal is to make a list of the 78 cards, and then you can have another column. Of course, I've done this on Excel with your experience. Okay, so we have to get through 78 cards. So let's get to the cards. And uh-oh, what just happened? Sorry, my computer just did a little, I just need to do something here so it doesn't wobble. There we go. Let's go to the cards. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. And if I miss anybody or anybody's in the background, hello to all of you as well, too. And let's go. So the question is, actually, I need to go to my post. I need to go to my my YouTube. Oh, you know what? There's a typo in the hashtag. I'm going to have to change it after I'm done. It's 78 everyday things I love, not 78. That's so funny. So there is a typo there, but hopefully you're going to get the gist of this. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Hi, Jen. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so get the spreadsheet up, Sadhana, and here we go. One of the things the energy I love about this card, and I know, Joseph, you've asked me this question before, like, how are you supposed to memorize the 78 cards, especially if you don't connect to the images and so forth? And for me, one of the ways I did this was building connections. I have a list of songs. I almost have a song. Some cards I have 5 or 6 songs for, every single card in the tarot. I have movies associated with every card. And this is the way. And, we've been doing a lot of tarot tags lately, with the dating one and the rainbow one. And recently Nancy did the foodie one. And so I think these tags really help us to learn and understand the cards and to find a deeper connection. And so today we're going to look at finding the everyday magic, finding the beauty in the mundane. And I'm going to share with you 78 of my experiences. Okay. So the thing about the Fool card for me is every single day I go for a walk with Amber in the forest. And I love to take new paths. I have no fear of the forest. I love just to go off in a new direction, providing I have time. So I associate the Fool with taking the path less traveled or just taking a new path. The Magician. For me, the mundane joy and the Magician is just shuffling cards. So when I think of a straight up Magician card, I just think of of a magician at a magic show, and the pure joy of the sound and the shuffling and all of that. And I've always loved that my whole life. So that is my joy in the Magician. Okay. Now, how in the world are you supposed to find the everyday mundane in the High Priestess? Well, when you live like I do, and magic and High Priestessness are part of your everyday life, it's not too difficult. But I suppose for me, the thing that came to mind was dress up. I love putting on capes. And a couple of years ago, when I was going into the shop to do readings, I really made an effort to look. My daughter used to say, "Oh, Mom, you look like a fairy when you're floating out the door." And so there's something about I like the dress up of the whole dressing as a reader kind of thing. And that's something that makes me feel kind of magical in my High Priestessness. I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat as well, too. Okay. Patrice, what is your wife's name? Why don't we all say hello to Patrice's wife? That would be a nice thing to do. A Viking model. Okay, yeah, that is a very kind of, where did we go? Sorry, I got to go to Kristen's comment. The Magician in the darkness of light looks like a Viking model, and you take your joy in Vikings. Oh, right, with all your Norse connections, Norse shamanism, and so forth. You picked too serious of a deck. I'm really looking forward to working with this. And once, oh, we're actually moving out of winter. I kind of got the deck late. It might have to wait till next winter until I start working with darkness of light, I think. Okay, so let's all welcome Vernetta. So hello, Vernetta. Hello, Vernetta. All right, so let's go to the Empress. Now, this is an easy one for me, and I used to be a teacher. I used to be a public school teacher. I don't know if you know that about me. The mundane, the joy of the Empress for me is that just being a mother. I'm a mother of 4 children, and I often reflect that of everything that's happened in my life, it's one of the things that I got right. And it's one of the things that brings me so much joy. So this can be as mundane as making a grilled cheese sandwich for my daughter, or I don't know, like just the everydayness of being a mom. It brings me so much love and light and joy. So that is a super easy one for me. This is the Robin Wood Tarot, by the way, in case you don't have this one. And on the left is Poppy Palin's Everyday Enchantment. Okay. Emperor. Now, this has changed for me, actually. The everyday, the mundane, and the Emperor. For me, since I have been on my own, which is, I've pretty much been on my own since 2014, there is this satisfaction in just being able to look after a family and a house on my own, and the extension of the kids who are all over the place. And so I wrote down for the Emperor, just the satisfaction in overseeing my life. I find a lot of joy in just all of that. And I'm a very good organizer, and I do find joy in organization. And maybe you can kind of get that from the spreadsheet thing or other little details you've noticed about me. Yeah. Hierophant. Hierophant. I put down reading a good book. Reading a good book. And when I'm talking about a good book, I love books that stretch my mind and take me to other places and transport me, and really to get me thinking. I love learning things from books. So I find tremendous joy in reading a book. Yeah. I love the things that you're sharing. So I hope you can all share the joy that you find in mundane. What is the mundane activity you associate with the particular card that we're looking at? And then we move to the Lovers, and what is mundane about love? But this could be as simple as a smile. Sometimes it's just the brushing by of somebody, how you just kind of barely touch each other. So for me, I think there's a simpleness to the connection of this card. And the other, and it's not mundane at all. So the top of the tag is about, the intention of the tag is to find the joy and the beauty in the mundane. And for those of you that have worked with me who are challenged with different kinds of self-esteem issues and so forth, part of that too, being a single person, is we're always working on my wellness and the self-love and the self-compassion. And so that is very kind of a practical exercise every day to make sure that that's a priority. And there's a beauty in that that's really, really helped me on my way to wholeness and wellness. Chariot. This is a fun one. I'm sure some of you think about skateboarding yourselves or other things that you have done, things that come with wheels. But for me, this is about courage This is about having the nerve to step forth, having the nerve to step outside. And if I go really, really mundane, and the joy in the mundane, and I go to the wheels and things like that, probably my paddleboard. I'm almost transported when I go out onto the ocean. Now, I can't do that every day. I can only do that a couple of seasons of the year. But that's one of the most empowering modes of transportation that are at my fingertips. Yeah. So, strength. Pretty hard to find mundane in strength, right? It's pretty special. It's pretty magical. I found a very practical one. I said, finding lightness in a pose. So I'm talking about yoga, finding lightness in a pose that has been previously challenging. So when I all of a sudden find myself in a yoga pose and I'm significantly deeper or higher, or I've actually kind of just floated into a shape that I've previously not been able to get into, this is the joy of strength, right? And with yoga, it's nothing to do with the physical strength. It's all about that mind thing. Yeah. I'm just reading your comments. Andrew says, your Sagittarius moon constantly searches for something new in my daily life and actually gets depressed when it doesn't. And your Taurus sun balances it out. I used to have a few different books that talked about the joy in the spaces of life, or something about the joy in the interruptions, and a few things. And I really feel like celebrating the everyday is a really healthy exercise. The joy in the Hermit card. Oh, okay. So for my example, I was thinking about the lamp and the lantern and the joy I have with working with my students. So sometimes the Hermit is considered the guru card, the teacher card as well too. So I find so much joy and light in that. The wheel, there's about 100 wheel things that I love every single day. It is kind of like the gratitude challenge. The mundane. So the mundane of the wheel is, the everyday things like checking the moon cycles on my phone. But the joy of the wheel for me are the Ferris wheels, merry-go-rounds. Anytime there's an opportunity for that, I just love that. Those circle rides. Yeah. Okay. Here's one. Justice. The joy. Let's find the joy in the mundane. The mundaneness, the joy in the mundaneness, the light in the mundaneness of the Justice card. So for me, justice in everyday life. So what activity does justice represent in everyday life? What activity? This is a hard one. It's for me to find like a practical activity associated with this. Watching a movie and the hero wins. Okay, there we go. That's a mundane activity. Yeah, because that's so seldom. There seems to be a lot of movies these days where the bad guy. I put down justice. You know how sometimes this card is called karma? And I find the joy in actually sitting. Well, there's a couple of different things I do every day for my practice, and some of them involve sitting, some of them involve moving, but there is a burning of karma as you do these practices. And so that's what I was thinking about, because if I actually focus and go back to my practices, which the intention is of burning karma and finding, justice and balance and burning through cycles. That's what I was thinking of here, because I really, really love my practices. Okay. This one was easy peasy for me. Playgrounds, actually hanging upside down. I love hanging upside down. And if there is a playground where there is a swing, I am going to go on the swing, and I'm going to be the person who is swinging the highest. So this one was super easy. And of course there's yoga stuff too, but I think playgrounds have the most joy for me. That's hilarious. Andrew says, watching Judge Judy. That's a really, really good one. Okay. Death. This is kind of serious, actually, isn't it? Death. Mundane activity related to death. Well, what about just preparing the garden? Preparing the garden for winter. So I just thought about that one, because I have a kind of a serious one, because it's part of my life, but Cirque du Soleil. Kristen, that is amazing. Did everybody see her comment? I love that. That's a great joy in a mundane activity of the hanged man. Oh, Nancy, Nancy, I love that. That just makes me laugh so hard. Yeah, I sit vigil a lot. Well, not a lot. COVID has shifted that for people, and look after families who, not look after. I sit vigil and support families who are having end of life experiences. And I find so much joy in that. It's a magical experience. Yeah. Nancy, that's just too funny. Okay, let's go a little faster. Temperance. For me, the mundane of temperance, that's kind of easy, actually. Making teas, soup. I put down soup. There is just this perfect, I love making soup and just balancing that salt and sweetness and spicy, and just getting all of that perfectly, that just right. So that's definitely my temperance one. Death comes in threes. Huh. Okay. This is a really fun one, right? Isn't this card about joy and just letting go and having fun? And sometimes we just need to just do that, So my example for the mundane with the devil was dancing. I just like that wild abandoned dancing. The person on the dance floor that everybody looks at and thinks they're absolutely plastered or they're insane. I love that. I love letting go. And there's this aspect of the devil that says, let go, right? With an emphatic adjective before the go. So for me, that's what's your letting go? I want to know. And then we'll find the mundane in the tower. Wild dancing, yes. Scandalous acts. There's a lot that we could say. Wait till we get to the wands. We're going to have fun in the wands. Okay, so for the tower, what I was thinking was screaming in the wind. Have you ever gone, there's a couple of paths around here where I go and I climb up, and you know how sometimes you just need to let your energy out, right? You don't want to scream at your kids or your family or your spouse. I don't have one of those punching bags, but one of my things I love to do on a windy day is to just raise my arms up and just let my voice go. I love that. And pretty much anything in the wind. There's something about the wind, and I love that. It's kind of connected to that devil energy, but it's more a physical release, right? I never thought about this, but I wonder if the tower is also an orgasm. Did you ever think about that? I just thought about that. I never thought about that before. Okay, star. Star, star, star. Tarot Stash is all about the cake. Burning Man. I've never been to Burning Man. I have never been to Burning Man, and I think I missed out. If there maybe as an old granny, I will go to free falling into a pool. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, moving on to the star. Of course, stargazing. That's kind of obvious because stargazing is just totally magical. I thought of something else too. Okay, in this card, I often think of this card as cleansing. Oh, I remember. So I was thinking just like being in the shower, just in the shower, singing in the shower, feeling. I have a magical shower head. Did I ever tell you about my shower head? It is clear. It's actually plastic, acrylic, and it's full of crystals. So I love to be in the shower. It's really kind of special. And so there is a cleansing aspect to this card. And so I was thinking, yeah, my shower is pretty special. Moon. If you were my friend, if you were my neighbor, you would know I'm out in the moon all the time. And I found so much joy. I'm always out there yammering away. I'm one of those crazy people, like, the crazy people you see in the grocery store who are just talking to themselves. Well, I'm the crazy lady who's out talking to the moon. I just love the moon so much. We have little conversations pretty much every night, except for 2 nights of the month, 3 nights of the month. Sun. All right. This is easy for me. Just lying on the beach, getting a suntan. That's it. Lying on the beach, sun on my skin. It doesn't get any more mundane and easy than that. Ooh. That's awesome. Howling coyotes at night. So that is a really good one for the moon as well, too. That reminds me of the Moonstruck, the Cher movie, and the grandpa that gets his dogs to all howl at the moon. Yeah. How about the sun, you guys? How about the sun? What is your mundane joy in the sun? Kristen loves the sun because you're always cold. Yeah, let me know. I'm just going to keep on going. And I know the chat's a little bit delayed, but we can come back a card or two once the chat shows up for me. Judgment. Oh, did I do judgment? Oh, hilarious. I put playing my conch. I have a conch shell. And it kind of reminds me of, the trumpet in a lot of judgment cards. And there's something about playing my conch. It's just like so hard. And I'm determined that once I actually learn how to play a conch well, I will be transported to some magical level. Okay, so let's look at some of these other hints here. For the sun, beach vacation. After rain, rainbows, beautiful. You know that movie, Sarah? Yeah, it's a pretty special movie. Pretty special. Okay, world card. What is the mundane in the world? Kristen, oh, that's a beautiful one. Finally accepting my body. Beautiful. And Patrice loves to turn her face. Do you use her? Is her your pronoun, Patrice? I wasn't sure. Up to the sun and just breathe it in. Yes, so beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, the world. What did I put for the world? So mundane, everyday activity for the world. So we have the circle symbol, we have the connection, we have the completion. So I was trying to think of like everyday everyday completions, right? What are everyday completions? Everyday completions are just kind of like I love my bed. I love my bedroom. And so there's something about the completion of every day. I really appreciate the completion of the day. And so perhaps my daily end of night routine is my world card. So I have to get mundane, because traveling is not very mundane. It's pretty special, but unless you travel every day, unless you travel for business or something all the time. Ooh, I like that, Nancy. World cuisine. World cuisine. Oh, Sarah, that is so funny. So funny. The laundry cycle. Okay. You know how aces are short-lived? So I was thinking here of sparklers. Now, not that I have sparklers every day, and I used to have them all the time because when the kids were little, but you know, those little sparklers that you hold and New Year's Eve, birthdays and stuff. So there was something about the sparkler that reminded me of the Ace of Wands and the short life of the Ace of Wands. But I could think of lots, actually quite a few things for the Ace of Wands. And the Ace 2, 3 of Wands is so kind of similar energy when you're thinking of like everyday activities. I was also thinking with the 2 of Wands of, do any of you walk with like walking poles? Or maybe if you have one, walking with a walking stick? Because I used to love that. I used to speed walk with a group of ladies with walking poles. I don't do that anymore, but that was something that definitely came to mind. And wands. The other mundane activity for the 2 of Wands is just kind of, I love watching foreign movies, foreign films. And so there's something about in that 2 of Wands of looking out to the world. Van Gogh. Yeah, this was the kind of what I was thinking, planning a trip. I spent so much time mapping out my trip to Paris, made a Google map even. Yeah, so even right now that I'm not traveling, I love to imagine going to different places in the world. A good concert. Don't you miss concerts? Oh my goodness, I miss concerts so much. Yeah. So I'm sure, and if any of you drum, I'm sure the 2 of Wands reminds you of drumsticks or anything else that you do in that regard. 3 of Wands. Well, there's this whole teamwork thing, right? With Wands, 3 of Wands. So 3 sticks. Oh, I've got another one for 2 of Wands. What about just eating with chopsticks? Eating with chopsticks. There we go. There's something super mundane. Hey, Neelam, welcome. Okay, so 3 of Wands. For me, I know what I was thinking. So one of the things I've really enjoyed lately is the collaborative tarot get-togethers. So there's something about the strength of getting together with other tarot tubers. And I have been really, really loving and growing from the panel discussions. So that's one thing that I thought of for this one, for the 3 of Wands. Yes, love that, Joseph. Connecting to the sunrise and sunset is just so powerful. Okay, mundane activity for the 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands. Do any of you build anything? Do you play with kids? Do you do any Lego or any Brio or building blocks? If any of you are grandparents, I'm sure the 4 of Wands, right? Or if you play Jenga, I love playing Jenga. I love those games. So I was, thinking about games and building and structures and things like that for the Four of Wands for mundane activity. Let me know what, and then for the 5, there's quite a few, well, I guess like in this one, where there's a sense of play fighting with the 5 of Wands, not necessarily, it's not even this one feels like a skillful exercise. So this one, I was really thinking if there was something in my life, some kind of competitive thing. I don't play competitive sports anymore. So I can't really say that's part of my mundane life right now. But for sure, any kind of competitive team sports. I miss competitive team sports. Yeah, I used to play basketball. I used to play volleyball. I did all kinds of things. So that's what this energy feels like to me. And you know how in competitive sports, sometimes things get carried too far, and then that's when the arguments break out. But there's this joy and this energy in competitive sports because it makes you feel so good, and it has this teamwork and this camaraderie, and it's that fine line between joy and light. Board games. Yes, sometimes board games get very, very serious. Yeah. Okay. Actually, board games for the 4 because boards are square. I didn't think about that. Okay. 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands. I actually didn't write things down for the Wands. Okay. Oh my God, this is me in high school. Love this card. Bursting through. Okay. Every day though. Everyday activity. I'm thinking of parades, but that's not an everyday activity. Danielle hears football practice every day. Okay, right. So we don't have to participate. Sometimes it is a spectator sport. All right. 6 of Wands. Like we're getting up there in the Wands, right? That's a lot of fire. That's a lot of energy. Right. Watching wrestling. That's great for the 5 of Wands. Graduating from grad school. Yeah, I guess that is kind of a mundane activity, right? It's not very spiritual. It's very of this earth. So any kind of passages of life, getting the dishes done. Okay, let's get real here. Yes. All right, there we go. Getting the dishes done. When the dishes have been piled up and piled up and piled up, or same with the laundry piles, right, Jessica? Getting through the laundry. Okay. 7. What is a mundane activity in the 7 of Wands? We have a new baby next door. Can you hear her? She's brand new. And of course, don't get to hold her. Shuffling my cards without success, having them fall on the floor. That's so funny. Getting to the end of the day can feel like a big success. Oh, for sure. Okay, so for the 7 of Wands, where I was going with this one was just having the courage to be me sometimes. I feel that there are even queerants at work, at the store who challenge me. There's always people that are challenging me about my vegetarianism or my veganism. And so sometimes the 7 of Wands feels like just navigating being me. It just feels like some days just feel like a 7 of Wands kind of day. How about you? What is your, when you're with a group of people who just doesn't understand why in the world you would not eat meat, it can be exhausting. And I don't engage in the conversation, but still there's always these little comments and jokes and things like that. And it might be about that. It might be about, being a tarot person. A challenging staff meeting. Yes, all the protests happening now. Hello, Jessica, by the way. I don't think I said hello to you, so welcome. Kristen, I'm terrible at standing my ground, so I need to harness my 7 of Wands. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You are strong. 8 of Wands. This is funny. For this one, I thought of going to the mailbox and opening the mailbox, and it's full of Christmas cards or full of birthday cards. I was going for the messenger side of this one. So that's what that felt like to me. Exactly, Gerald. Whatever each of our everyday obstacles are, and then that feeling inside yourself of succeeding and moving through that. Archery, yes. Archery for the 8 of Wands. For sure. Did any of you, I like that one, Joseph, watching planes in the sky. Did any of you do javelin or anything like that in high school or college or university? Because I was thinking about javelin or other throwing events. That might be eight of Wandsy. 8 of Wandsy. 9 of Wands. I think I wrote this one down. Oh, the feeling after a great hike. So some days I go a lot further with Amber, and you know that, especially when it's sun and you feel that sun on your skin and your muscles are a little bit tired, and it just feels so good. So that's what I thought for the 9 of Wands. Just that little bit of, you've gone just that little bit too far, and it's really quite exhilarating. A new tarot deck arriving a day earlier. That is a wonderful 8 of Wands, Jessica. Wonderful. Oh, yes. And they do that, Kristen, here at like they call them logger events, logger days or something like that. Logger days. Oh my God. Yes, when you're out of the ICU. The last 10 minutes of my walk. Just getting up some mornings. Yes. So funny. Well, then if that's the 9 of Wands, what is the 10 of Wands? What is the 10 of Wands? Because the 10 of Wands is, well, here we have, I know what the 10 of Wands is. The 10 of Wands is coming home from work, and you walk into the house and it looks like a bomb went off in the house, and nobody has lifted a finger all day long, especially during COVID. Kids are home, people are around, and it's like, I know exactly, like I feel this expression right here. Yeah. And so I just laugh. It's life. It's life. And I don't panic like I used to do. Bringing work home with you. Deadlines. Deadlines. Yes. Okay, let's go through these. Housework. COVID. That's a perfect answer. With no water. Okay. Bringing work home with you, which I think we just said. That is very, very funny, Gerald. I love that. I have a secret. sometimes when I'm really close to the house, if I know the kids are home, I text them like 3 blocks away and I announce my arrival and I say, meet mommy in the driveway, because I don't want to make multiple trips back and forth to the car, especially if I've done a Costco trip or something like that. Okay. Page of Wands. So for me, Page of Wands. There's just so many things. I love being a feisty little kid. I love poking fun at people. Yeah, I mean, do you remember playing flashlight tag? Flashlight tag, oh my goodness. How fun is that? Speedily learning with 10 tabs open. Oh my goodness, Kristen. That's really funny. So Page of Wands. So there's just like, again, I'm going to go to the dancing and the singing and the freedom and just, just being you and doing what you want to do. And I don't care if it's flashlight tag or, oh, how about skinny dipping? You know what? I think that's skinny dipping for me. I love taking my clothes off and running into the ocean. That feels very Page of Wandsy to me. Yeah, maybe too much information. Sorry. Okay, Knight of Wands. I don't know, I think this one it's like, if you're in a relationship, this is just one of those great, great nights with your partner. Like, it's just so hot. So hot. Jessica liked flashlight tag. Yeah. So what's your impulsive, hot, fiery Knight of Wands thing that you love to do? A clean house when you get home from work. That is pretty joyful. Yeah. And for those of you, do any of you ride motorbikes? I'm sure that's very, very exhilarating just to get on your bike and go. There's actually quite a few decks that have the Knight of Wands on a motorbike. Okay, and let's go through the last of the court cards here, and then we'll just really quickly go through the other suits. Queen of Wands, again, I feel the party with her, just the enjoying yourself, being the life of the party, letting just stepping out of your shell. A ride in your Jeep. Ooh, Joseph, you had an old Porsche. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Feeling that inner charisma, that the Queen of Wands has so much charisma. And then for the Knight of Wands, I think, King of Wands. King of Wands, King of Wands. So, when King of Wands is going to the extreme, like, what is the nth degree of fieriness in everyday life? And how does that bring you joy? Because we're trying to find the positive and the magical in each of these cards. Doing a great public speech. Falling out of the car after 4 Long Islands. Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. Yeah, and that can go for all of the cup court cards too. Where people come to consult with me, helping people. Okay. Bonfire with a good drink. There is a warmth, right? So when I think of the King of Wands, there is a warmth to the King of Wands, but there's also an impatience. He's the kind of guy that will make you feel as warm and important as the Queen of Wands does. But he's not going to hang around very long. He's going to go off and have a smoke with the guys in the backyard, or, like he's going to be moving around a lot. So this one was hard for me. So let me know if you come up with any good ones for this one. Okay. I'm just going to check the time because maybe we're going to have to do a part 2. Oh, we're at 50 minutes. We'll do this. We'll do this. Because most of these ones I have written down. Ace of Cups. A beautiful glass of wine. A perfect cup of coffee. Or winning a trophy like these girls. Gerald. And we don't know your partner's name, Gerald. So we know Patrice's partner is Verdetta. I'm going to have to go back and double check that if I said it wrong. And Gerald's partner, not reaching across the counter and slapping a customer when they are stupid, controlling your temper. Love it. Nice. That makes perfect sense. So what is your perfect cup? What is your perfect cup? And I think, like with the Ace of Wands, right? A cup of coffee doesn't last very long. So and maybe that's what tea ceremony is about. How we linger through a tea ceremony and appreciate the cup, right? The vessel that the beverage is in, and we smell it and we turn the cup, and yeah. So let me know what your favorite cup is. Jeffrey. Okay. Hello, Jeffrey. Your first glass of water when you wake up. 2 of Cups. Oh, anything with a friend, connection with a friend. I put down, just connecting with a good friend. Danielle Woven Pixel says cold water on a hot day. Hello. I don't know if it's Hika or Haika. Probably Hika. I'm guessing it looks like Japanese anime. Hika. The perfect mixture of milk and coffee at the right temperature to start your day. Beautiful. Welcome, Hika. Reading about Krishna. Beautiful. Okay, 3 of Cups. Again, this is like a sisterhood kind of thing. Getting together with my girlfriends. They're not necessarily girls. Getting together with friends. Again, connections. These 2 and 3, there's different kinds of connections, but they're just so soulful and so joyful and so much love. Yeah. The mundane this one I pondered 4 of Cups quite a bit. And where am I have to scroll up on my little sheet here. 4 of Cups. I put down having the self-worth to know when I need a timeout. So this is a little bit like what Jeffrey said. So choosing not to engage, knowing when to walk away. Knowing when to walk away, having the privilege of being bored. Yeah. Okay. This is a good one too. 5. So 5 of Cups for me was, so my kitchen sink. I rent this house that I'm living in, and the kitchen sink needs replacing, and there's always leaks underneath the sink. But sometimes, I know, like, how you put I store a lot of things underneath my sinks. And so what I wrote down was finding treasures underneath the sink when the sink is leaking, which is totally bizarre, but that just happened to me this week. Yeah, so I found something that I had put under there that I totally forgot about. It was just some oils and stuff, but pretty funny. So there is joy. There is joy in the mundane of the Five of Cups. Six of Cups, I put sandcastles. Sandcastles. That just felt like, what are they making in this one? Oh, it's a tea party. Yeah. I am the first person to sit on the beach, sit in a straddle position, and start making sandcastles. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the chat. Oh, Three of Cups, a party like we used to have in the old days. Beautiful. Five of Cups, lost car keys. That's clever, Joseph. New Year's resolutions for Five of Cups. I like that. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so 6. Anybody have something for 6? Ah, yes, this is always a joyful thing. Joyful thing. Yeah, right? We get to act like kids. We get to be kids. And Jessica says, reminiscing about childhood memories. Right? Being able to be a kid. This one reminds me of a Joni Mitchell song. Do you know the Joni Mitchell song? And also just summer days, spring days, watching the clouds, being, having permission to have your head in the clouds. It's quite an interesting card, isn't it? In Poppy's deck. And then 8 of Cups. Did I do 8 of Cups? 8. I'm sure I did. No, I didn't. Okay, so 8 of Cups. Well, 8 of Cups is knowing when to walk away. And we've kind of had that message a couple of times today. So knowing when enough is enough. So maybe this is, if you have had 3 beers or 3 glasses of wine or whatever your limit is, knowing when to walk away, right? Knowing when to switch to water, knowing when to switch to tea or whatever. Maybe that's what that is. Exactly, just like in the picture, leaving the mess for another day. A long soak in the bubble bath. Okay, 9 of Cups. And 9 and 10 of Cups is kind of similar for the mundane activities, but maybe you have some good examples. Good night, Danielle. Good night. Okay, so 9 and 10 of Cups. It's kind of hard to differentiate between the two, isn't it? Because again, through the whole suit of cups, the mundane, real activities are about connections. They're about unexpected money coming in. Okay, because that triggers the emotions. Okay, so a lot of emotion, a lot of positive emotion, something that brings joy, something that is like a wish fulfilled. Date night. Love it. Date night. So for me, the 10 definitely is when all the kids come home. And there is so much joy in my house when all 4 kids are here and they're all together. And I love watching them all interact and play together and the things that we get to do. And everybody's just so grateful for those connections. Yeah, I love that. So beautiful. Okay. Let's finish the court cards, and then maybe I'll do a part 2. Page of Cups. Page of Cups. Because we have 2 more suits to do. Page of Cups. I'm looking for my notes. Blowing bubbles. Blowing bubbles. Let's go and look at some of these other ones. I love these comments. So these are 10 of Cups, right? Having a good belly laugh with a friend over the phone, or that maybe that's 9 of Cups. My wife, beautiful. Kids coming home from their dad's house. I like these. Oh, covered in cats. That's beautiful. Finding the joy in everyday things. Somebody didn't know what we were doing, Gerald. Thank you for helping. Okay. Yeah, I think there is, do you know this child? I know this child, this Page of Cups child is just so joyful. And I'm sure that you have a friend, you have somebody in your community, in your circle, that's just, whether they're an adult or a teenager, whoever they are, and they embody that energy of the Page of Cups. So beautiful. Yeah. Love it. Just being around a child like that. So for me, blowing bubbles or those kind of activities like sidewalk chalk, giggling with children. Do you ever have one of those conversations where you're just giggling and there's something with that? Mm-hmm. And then what about the Knight? The Knight of Cups. I was going to say like romantic, I think I'm sure I wrote this down, romantic, like love songs, listening to love songs. I have quite a few love songs on my playlists, or watching a good romantic comedy, or even a romantic drama. I don't write poetry, but I imagine if you wrote poetry, this would be a really good activity. And that's not very mundane. That's a very spiritual activity. Wonderful. That's a great page of a new set of paints for a Page of Cups. I love that. Kristen Louise says, when I was little, I would do art for people and get so excited by their response. I would have to kiss everyone. That reminds me, when we were on a beach holiday, and my kids were all doing watercolor paintings on the picnic table outside. And they did so many paintings, and they were walking up and down the beach, selling their kitty art to people on the beach. And some people actually paid them, like 25 cents or something, quarter for their paintings. It was pretty funny. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah. And the Knight of Cups, I am thinking of, do you have the Groovy? I think it's in the Groovy Tarot, or the Trippin. I think it's in the Groovy Tarot, how the Knight of Cups has got all you need is love is up in the sky. And I feel that kind of energy with this card for sure. Yeah, I love the kids when the kids do things like that. And then Queen and King of Cups, and we'll stop here tonight. So let's see. Mundane in the Queen of Cups. Mundane in the Queen of Cups. I have for her, I just wrote doing a reading. I find so much joy in doing a reading, and I feel the intuitive, psychic nature of the Queen of Cups. And yeah, for me, it is mundane because I do it multiple times a day, pretty much 7 days a week. But there's so much joy in it. There's so much light and pleasure. So doing a reading. The other thing, and I don't know which quart cup this would be, but I love to immerse myself in the ocean. So diving into the ocean. And one of you said that for one of the other cards we looked at as well too. So I feel the connection with the ocean. So maybe the Page of Cups is the fish. So maybe that's my inner child, is the one who loves to swim in the ocean. Nurture others. The psychiatrist. Oh, this is a good one. Letting a friend unload on you because they need someone to listen. So just holding space, right? Yeah, that's a beautiful Queen of Cups kind of energy. And then our last card for tonight is the King. The King of Cups. Yeah, sobriety, of course, is a shadow. Lack of sobriety is a shadow of the King of Cups. What is a positive light, joyful activity for the King of Cups? Mundane activity. He's also very, like a healer. So I suppose the healer for me is the King of Cups. Which card for you is the healer? Is the healer the Queen of Cups? And then I also feel Reiki energy in swords and wands as well too. There's a lot of, it's hard to place Reiki hands in one of these court cards. Yeah, mundane. Maybe the psychiatrist is also the King of Cups. Kristen, that makes me think of the yeah. And I think it's King of Pentacles, but it has that beautiful energy in, do you know tarot? The tarot, I think it's the King of Pentacles and Tarot of the Hidden Realm. Right? It does have that King of Cups, beautiful connection energy. There's a lot of love. Being cuddled by Grandpa. Right? Being cuddled by Grandpa. So lovely. Hello, Jen. Thanks for popping in at the end here. Let's see what therapist as the Queen and psychiatrist as the King. Very, very interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to correct the typo in the title of the video. And then I'm going to add a part 1. And then we'll come back and do part 2, and we'll do something fun at the end of part 2 because there's 2 more suits to get through, and we've already been on an hour tonight. So thank you for playing along with me. And if you want to explore this more, and if this helps you to bring connections to the cards, you can go to that thread in Tarot Nerds on Facebook. It's a kind of an interesting study. You can contribute, or you can respond and do your own video. It might be kind of fun to take out a bunch of decks and then just show the card from the mundane. If you have enough decks to show them that show the mundane activity in the card as well too. That might be a cool way to do this. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. So this might be a good list actually to keep running for an extended period of time to help build those connections, and then you can go back to it and add to it and edit it from time to time. Yeah, really like looking at that King of Cups card. Okay. So I want to wish you well. Enjoy the rest of your evening, the rest of your day, wherever you are. As always, be kind to one another, and I will see you all very soon. Namaste.